All right, fellas, here is your NFL Update Tuesday, as promised, on time, on this beautiful sunny day here in Massachusetts. Well, I mean, it's kind of chilly and pretty windy still in the middle of May, so I guess it's kind of nice, but not as nice as it should be. But, at least we're halfway there, so it's good. But the major thing I want to talk about today, well, I have two major points, okay? So the first point will lead into the second point, all right? And I'm pretty sure today's NFL update will be short and to the point, okay? I really want to stress the "I think" portion of short and sweet, all right? Because I feel like sometimes when I go on to talking about something, I tend to go, in a little bit into depth more than I should, but it's all right. We're just gonna roll with it, all right. And so, the first point is that Roger Goodell is still the commissioner. Okay, I know to a lot of folks outside of New England, he's a good guy. I'll admit that, but to a lot of guys outside of New England, he's like the greatest guy ever, the greatest leader. But to folks within the New England boundaries, Roger Goodell is like not a good guy, okay? In one of my previous videos, I talked a lot about the Deflategate scandal and how he basically did not pay attention to some of the easiest details. A lot of really, really important details were presented right in front of him, I should say. And, they weren't really that complicated to understand, okay? If a lot of folks can understand them, then, he should understand them too, especially since football is his job, okay? All he does is lead the NFL, and then he has a whole bunch of people under him, I figured he'd at least want to pay attention just a little bit, okay? And so this information that was presented to him, it was simple stuff, just very simple physics, so just like some very basic, not sophisticated knowledge whatsoever. And what does he do? He just kind of shoves them into the trash can. He's just like, oh, I don't have a human resources department. I don't have this department. I don't have that department. All I have is a freaking garbage can, and that's where I put my life into. Okay, so Roger Goodell, he not only does he put his leadership in the garbage can, but he puts this whole entire case in there too. Okay, so he basically disregards the whole thing. He finds the Patriots. Okay, suspends Tommy Boy, 4 games. And then, our backup quarterback got hurt, so we had to start the third string quarterback. And now not only is our starting quarterback gone, but both of our backups are gone as well, okay? Jimmy G is flinging footballs on the 49ers, okay? And the other guy, I don't even want to say the other guy's name, okay? But that guy is on the Colts from the last I heard, okay? He didn't really make a ton of huge headlines, but he's there, okay? And so Roger Goodell, is not the sharpest tool in the shed, okay? And not the greatest leader out there, but, and the other thing, too, is that, there are a lot of other really kind of terrible cases out there regarding players, player misconduct and, a whole bunch of really nasty things happening. And they don't really get fined heavily for it at all, so a lot of the fines were a lot less severe than the Patriots supposedly deflating footballs, okay? And the NFL did not have absolute conclusive evidence that the Patriots deflated the footballs. And plus, there were a lot of scientific studies done from multiple companies and multiple universities around the country proving that once you bring a football from a warm room inside a building to a really, really frigid temperature, outside, the day of that particular Patriots game was a really, really, really frigid day, okay? Gillette Stadium doesn't have a roof over the field, so it's outside. And guess what? And that caused, a whole bunch of exertion on the ball, okay, which, therefore made the air essentially come out of the ball, okay? Okay, I'm not a scientist, but, there's reports out online saying, once you bring the football from inside and bring it outside, it'll deflate, okay? So that point cannot be argued whatsoever. And it's just frustrating that a lot more severe situations, again, he's just shoving things under the rug. He's shoving things into the garbage can, and he's just not doing anything. He's just, he just basically does nothing for these cases and he barely even gives them a punishment. He's like, oh, yeah, well, whatever, I just missed, 1 or 2 games, give us some money, and then, we're good. You can get back to football. And he just let everything fly for the Patriots, okay? So every time he comes to New England, we basically kick him right out, okay? You basically won't ever see him at a Patriots game again. And, after this Deflategate thing happened, a whole bunch of folks went up to his vacation house up in Maine and basically, threw toilet paper at his house, threw eggs at his house. I was thinking about going, but multiple people told me no. Major bad decision right there. I should have went. So, yeah, that happened. But that leads into my second major talking point for today, which is the fact that Roger G Money, Roger Goodell, whatever you want to call him, hashtag not my commissioner, put in a tiny bit of work the last few weeks, okay? He did, a terrible job with the NFL draft. He basically forgot what he was doing. And then he actually put in some work for the scheduling, okay? Him and his little subordinates at the NFL decided to make some schedules, which is interesting. There's a lot going on. I took a look at the Patriots schedule between last night and this morning, and it is going to be a really tricky season for the Patriots. I'm not going to lie. Obviously the Patriots had a lot of changes, in their roster, a lot of major changes. So their team is going to be a tiny bit weaker than usual. I think they're still going to do okay, all right, but not, as good as they usually are. And then, that with that weak roster, kind of going up against a lot of tough teams, okay? You got the Seahawks, the Chiefs, the 49ers. The Bills are slowly starting to make a rise back up into one of the more dominant teams in the AFC. It's going to be a very, very, very interesting year for the Patriots, which raises the question, 2 questions, really. And the first question is the dynasty slowly coming to an end? Is the Patriots dynasty, coming to a close? Is that door starting to shut, okay? And the second question, who really built the dynasty? Was it Bill Belichick who built it? Was it Tom Brady? Or was it both? Robert Kraft, bought the team before, they came in. So he was just kind of there to begin with. But who was really that kind of deciding factor? Who really gave it that little bit of a push to really kind of hit that jumpstart button and really get it going? So I will not rant anymore about the issues so far with the NFL, but we must keep positive in this time of need and time of uncertainty, okay? So let's continue to make sure that we remember and we thank everybody on the front lines. And there's definitely a lot of negativity going on right now, a lot of negativity going on right now, okay? I need to speak English today. So let's just constantly be thankful, for everything that we have, everything that we will receive in the future, all of the blessings. And, let's just be thankful for our families and our friends and all those who, continue to support us. So without further ado, this will conclude our Tuesday NFL update brought to you by me, Jason J. Statham himself. And until I see you later on today with our travel update, peace out from the Stady Dream Team. All right, I'll catch y'all in a little bit.